Newly appointed U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson will visit South Korea later this week at a time of significant political change that could complicate the alliance between Washington and Seoul. VOA's Brian Patton has more from Seoul.
South Korea is in the midst of disruptive political change following the impeachment of President Park Geun-hye, who was removed from office for her alleged involvement in a multi-million-dollar bribery scandal. And liberal opposition leaders who don't see eye to eye with the United States on North Korea policy are poised to win a soon-to-be-held presidential election. But this week, the new U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson will see only scenes of unity when he visits with American military forces in South Korea, engaged in joint exercises that include the nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, the USS Carl Vinson, in a show of force to counter North Korea's advancing missile and nuclear capabilities. North Korea has warned it would launch merciless attacks if the carrier infringes on its sovereignty or dignity during the drills. And Tillerson will also likely hear only words of support for U.S. policy when he meets with acting President Hwang Kyo-ahn and South Korean Foreign Affairs Minister Yoon Byung-se. Both conservative interim officials echoed the U.S. on the need to increase North Korean sanctions to pressure Kim Jong-un to dismantle his nuclear arsenal. And they support the THAAD missile defense system being deployed in South Korea as a needed defense measure against North Korea. Many conservatives agree with Tae Young-ho, the former deputy head of the North Korean embassy in London until he defected to the South last year, that Kim Jong-un will never give up his nuclear arsenal.
I'm absolutely sure that the only way to solve the North Korean nuclear issue fundamentally is, elimination of Kim Jong-un regime.
However, Moon Jae-in, the leading presidential candidate from the Democratic Party of Korea, wants to take a less confrontational approach to make a deal with the Kim government.
We can't deny that the ruler of the North Korean people is Kim Jong-un. We have no choice but to recognize Kim Jong-un as a counterpart, whether we put pressure and impose sanctions on North Korea or hold dialogue.
While past efforts to foster change through economic integration ultimately failed to stop the North from developing nuclear weapons, they did slow the pace of development, and advocates argue it is time to try again. Many South Koreans also have reservations about THAAD given Beijing's strong opposition and reports of growing Chinese economic retaliation against South Korean companies.